Welcome back to the Federation Cup. We've gone to a third and final game between the Pan American team and the team who are opening up Europe, and that's not the best start from Rebecca Larson.
No, she looks as though she's changed her line slightly, moved to the right and sort of angled the ball in towards the pins, and didn't make the pocket. Left a 3.69 and the 10, which is one of those awkward little spares on the right hand side of the lane. It's got to be pretty accurate with this. She's got to cover that back pin, the 9 pin.
It's one apiece. Europe took the first game convincingly. Pan American side in the blue came back and took the second in some style, and they could have had a maximum. Just unlucky in the end, but still finished with a very good 2.69, which in these conditions is excellent. And now it's come down to a one-game shootout, and maybe the nerves just starting to get to the players, because from Rebecca Larson's point of view, that is unacceptable at this level. And you can tell it's a combination of being angry and just a touch embarrassed as well. You do not want to let your team down in these circumstances. Brenda Edwards, she's straight through the head pin, so both teams feeling it.
Yeah, maybe she's had a little bit of change or transition in the oil, and so it's reacted with her bowling ball. There's the 2 pins standing in the corner. Should be a straightforward spare, which it is. So the American Confederation take an early lead after that open frame from Rebecca Larson. Now, Tina Hulsch from Germany, who I must admit has looked not the strongest bowler today. The ball really hasn't been getting up to the pocket and driving those pins away. Well, it certainly made the pocket, and that was a good shot. Just didn't bring the Tenpin out in the corner. Just maybe need a little bit more angle as the ball went in the pocket. Made the 1-3, which was good. Very unfortunate just to leave that one standing. So one would hope she's going to make a spare. Slide this ball from the left-hand side of the lane, straight across. Not too much hook. And keep out of the oil. Or go in the oil. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, I could see that one abseiling off to the outside edge of the board of the lane there, and it just dropped off, didn't it? Had no rotation on it to bring it back, and it dropped off. Open frame, frame number 2 for the European squad. That's certainly not the best start in the world.
And a strike from the Pan American team and Sofia Grande, and that really has jumped all over those 2 opens. Pan American side now in a good position here to build. Dominic Barrett must strike, surely, to keep Europe in this.
Well, it's certainly time to. 2 open frames, and they don't want to let this match get away here in the final game. 2 frames out of the 10 have already gone, and the 2 for Europe have been open. Dominic looking for 10. Oh, dear. Well, a fraction high on the headpin off not a bad looking shot. Has left a 4.79 split, which is quite outrageous. I'm sure Gary was thinking that as the ball winning as well. It wasn't the worst shot in the world, but he's been punished. It is a makeable spare. He can slide that 4 pin across into the 9, but it's he's got to be very, very accurate indeed. I'm sure he's going to give it a shot, because we really don't need Europe really don't need another open frame, which makes 3 in a row. He's going for it, and unfortunately,
Goodness
it's a bit heavy. Yeah,
that is trouble for Europe now, and the Pan American side through this young lady, Rocio Restrepo, have an opportunity to really seal the deal. Another strike here, and it'll be very difficult for Europe to overhaul the Pan American team.
Yeah, got to keep the ball on the lane, got to make some pins and stay clean. That's the object of the game, especially when your opponents are 3 open frames in a row. Crikey.
Oh, wow, there's no reward in this game sometimes. What was wrong with that pocket here?
Very similar to Dominic's ball. That's the 4-9 split again. Just a fraction high on the headpin, and that's why it stood up. As I said last frame, it's makeable spare, and she will try to make this. Even the 4-pin wobble, didn't it? Very, very unfortunate, as you say. Punished slightly for what wasn't the worst shot in the world.
Has to settle for an open frame. Oh, nearly, nearly got some rebound off the back there. That just shows you the power that that young lady throws with.
This is quite amazing. Straight back off the bounce back.
Wow.
Look at that. 2 inches to the other side, and that would have gone, and that would have counted as a spare. Unfortunately, it's not open frame for the Americans. Come on, Mika.
Major Mika then, looking for a strike to keep Europe in this match. Looks good. It is good. And Koivuniemi with a little mock celebration there. I mean, in comparison to bowling for the big dollars on the PBA, this is a very relaxing afternoon for Mika.
It certainly was a great looking shot, and he let rip as well when that ball went in the pocket.
Oh.
I thought I heard a growl, and that was Mika.
He loved it. Immediately followed by a smile, though. John Janovic. They've left some pins now, this Pan American side. They've still got their noses in front, but they've got to be careful here, especially if Europe can double up.
Yeah, certainly got to stay clean. Mika's started the strike roll for the Europeans. They need to carry that through now. A little bit of guarding going on here. That's a bit of thumb tape going in the hole, just to tighten the thumb up a little bit. Needs to be nice, tight fit, so that the ball comes off the hand properly. Hard and straight, and makes the spare. Now, Gary Verbruggen is the man who's the closer for the European squad. European Tenpin Federation Zone Boys. The fifth man bowls frames 5 and 10. Again, just a fraction high on the headpin. Leaves that 6-pin standing. And that can only be a spare as well. So there's no double for the Europeans. And comes Gary's spare ball.
Well, Gary will be hoping that come that final frame, this European side is still in contention, so he's actually got something to bowl at in order to set a mark. But that might be a concern for him as he watches the rest of the team bowl up front. He may be left redundant in this match.
Yeah, he certainly could run out of frames and be so far behind that he doesn't have the opportunity, as you say. But here comes Manuel.
Oh, that's going to help the European cause no end. It's going to be an open frame surely now from Manny.
Well, he almost laughed at that, didn't he? Because it was a reasonable shot, almost in the 1-3 pocket, and he's left a 7-10. Can you believe that? The 4-pin's just dropped in front of the 7, and the 6 has flown around the 10, and they both just stood there. So Manny Ortalora, open frame.
Well, you can get a reaction off that back wall.
What's going on here?
You can get a reaction off it, and that's just what he's tried to do. And rather like Rocchio Restrepo, he's gone all the way round, everything but.
That's outrageous.
Oh my goodness.
How's that pin coming back off the bounce plate? That's just crazy. He could have so easily converted that 7-10 on television. That would have been a first for him, I'm sure. Dear, oh dear. He sees the funny side of it, but unfortunately, it was an open frame.
Yeah, the 7-10 conversions on TV, rarer than 300 games, actually.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think I've probably seen about half a dozen in my bowling career on TV. Maybe not even as many as that.
Still ruining that one. Now, Larson needs to get things back on track for Europe. Needs a strike. Yes, she can walk away from this match with her head held high now. That was a pressure ball there for Rebecca Larson, and she's come up with the goods.
Yes, and her match is finished now. She's bowled her second frame.